Hello, everybody. This is Roger Earl of the band Foghat, and you're listening to Danny Coleman's Rock on Radio. Everybody's going to rock on radio, haven't you? Rock, 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 everybody. No, I don't sing. I'm sorry, I'm the drummer. Stop singing. I'm trying to stop singing, but I can't help it.
What are you laughing at?
That's funny. I haven't heard.
What struck you so funny about my man Roger?
Rock, rock, rock. I'm the drummer. I shouldn't be talking or singing.
Let me tell you something.
Is that a good interview?
I've had the pleasure of interviewing Roger Earl on a couple of occasions, and it's kind of like, I think.
Watching your toddler off in the corner.
The Pittsburgh Pirates had a ball player when I was a kid by the name of Willie Stargell. Old Pop Stargell. He always said, right? He used to talk about Steve Carlton's slider. He said it's like eating soup with a fork. Roger Earl and Charles Larita are like eating soup with a fork to talk to because they just kind of go everywhere. They're beautiful interviews. I love them. They're fun and and Roger.
He could just cut
Kind of like Doug Clifford, remember?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Doug, cut me a promo. This is Doug Cosmo Clifford. Rock on, rock on, rock on.
What's the name of the show again?
Welcome to Rock On Radio. I am your host, Danny Coleman. As you hear, producer Claire is here, thoroughly cracked up by Roger Earl of Foghat.
It was cute.
We have an interesting show this week. We have our guest who is here in studio.
Yes.
For the first time ever, we have a not the first time ever, because engineer Art
Yes,
used
used to play
always
football
have had a TV like you thought he was paying attention to the show and he's watching the football game or the baseball game.
We had the Super Bowl on. A few
That's why
times.
half those pictures of him laughing, we caught him, you know. God rest his soul, engineer Art.
Yeah, it's been a
But
year.
tonight we are actually, this is on like a, what is that, a 14 by 14 foot screen? What is that thing? It's
That's
huge.
big. Yeah, well, 14. Well, it's not feet.
Well, I'm not watching it because it's behind me, but.
I'll watch it. I'll tell you if they score.
No, don't tell me. I don't even want to know.
The Phillies have a 1.
I saw that.
There's a 1 on the
I
Phillies.
saw that,
Okay.
yes.
All right. I just
So,
but your head's in the way. It is. All I see is New York Mets 0. But it's the 4th inning. The bottom of the 4th.
I swear.
2-2. 0 outs. We're good. Okay.
All right, thanks. Okay. Meanwhile,
Eyes on
back
me,
at the
eyes on
radio
me.
show. And we are expecting a call this evening from a Deko artist, Tenk Van Dool, who has a release that by the time this show airs,
That's
it
right.
was released just 2 days prior to the airing of this show.
Right.
So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And we have our guest, which is really cool
Yes, very
because
cool.
we met him. We've known his father.
Yes.
But we met him at the Long Branch Jazz and Blues Festival, which
Yep.
was
Watched him in
part
action.
of a really cool set that was done there. But so in order to get to him, we have Diane and I are supposed to speak tomorrow.
Oh, which will be that.
We
Few
have
days ago.
received, I'm not going to say the green light, but the pale green light.
Okay.
We've been approved to use Asbury Park Vibes once again this
Nice.
year for our
Yay.
16th annual
anniversary.
Christmas bash.
Oh, 16th. Yeah.
Christmas spectacular.
Spectacular.
That's right.
Da-da-da.
Rock On Radio is brought to you by the aforementioned Asbury Park Vibes. Go to AsburyParkVibes.com if you are a band, a solo artist, any sort of entertainer, or you just need help with a website. They also have an entirely huge staff of
They do.
photographers,
To choose from.
any or all of which can take your pictures for your website or your band, or they help you with bios for your website or anything you need, press releases. And Doug and Diane have a great podcast as well,
Yes,
which
they
you
do.
and I have been victims of.
We have. And they've been
the
victims
past.
of ours.
That's right. We have victimized them on a couple of occasions.
have.
So that's AsburyParkVibes.com, located on Main Street in Asbury Park, New Jersey. O'Connor's American Bar and Grill, the official caterers of the previously mentioned Rock On Radio Christmas Spectacular and beyond.
Yay.
They're located on Route 537, otherwise known as Monmouth Road, in East Hampton, Mount Holly, New Jersey. The Jersey Shore Jazz and Blues Foundation, of which we are members.
Yes, we are.
We have...
And that's where we met our guest.
That's right, at the Long Branch Jazz and Blues Festival. Now, my next event for them, I don't know if you're going or not. I forget what you said.
I forget when it is.
November 9th at DJ's in Belmar. It is a veterans benefit. So I will be there. The Jersey Shore Jazz and Blues Foundation is not a sponsor of it. However, they are responsible for certain moving parts of it, I suppose, of which I am one. So
True.
that'll be November 9th in Belmar. Phoenix Art Supplies and Framing.
I was just past there the other day.
Yeah? Did you
Yeah,
go
I
in?
was. I couldn't. I was picking up my daughter. Sorry.
She
I don't think it
couldn't
was
go-
open at the time. We were looking. It didn't look like it was open. So
I was going to say, she refused to go in with you? Or
no, I hadn't gotten her yet.
Oh,
We were going out.
oh,
So I
okay.
was grabbing her to go
All
out.
right. Well, that's located on Route 611, otherwise known as Southeastern Road in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Not Phoenixville, as I was thinking. Doylestown, Pennsylvania. And they are having a special. If you spend $200 or more on framing, you get $40 off to celebrate their 40 years in business. So, Phoenix Art Supplies and Framing. Many thanks to the Schaefers, Chuck, and Jenny for sponsoring Rock On Radio. NewJerseyStage.com. New Jersey Stage is where you are listening to this show right now, which can be accessed either through thepenguinrocks.com or asburymusic.com.
Yes.
Or Asbury Music Radio. Or anyway, NewJerseyStage.com. Go to radio shows, click on the Penguin, and there is a whole host of radio programs. Mine are up there. Lee Mrowicki's are up there. There's all sorts of fun radio programs to listen to, like ours. Correct. Correct. Lillipies of Princeton. Located at 301 North Harrison Street inside the Princeton Shopping Center. Jen makes hand grenades of happiness, and we devour them. And yes, she does cater the desserts for the Christmas spectaculars of
That's right.
Rock On Radio. Old Heights Brewing, the official beer providers of Rock On Radio.
That's right.
They are located behind Randy Now's Man Cave at 119 West Ward Street in Heightstown, New Jersey. Dee Dee's Lights. Dee Dee is the official Chandler of Rock On Radio. I can never remember what that's supposed to be.
We did it. I did the audio thing.
I
It
know,
was
I remember.
Chandler,
Chandler.
but not like Friends Chandler. Well,
Okay.
I guess yes, like Friends.
Pronounced the same. Anyway, she is the official candle maker of Rock On Radio. Dee Dee's Lights, Deedeee Lights. And you can find her only on social media at the moment. Her website is in progress. So check her out. Dee Dee's Lights. Monkey Coffee.
Who's now
Now-
hunkered down
Yeah, because it's in Florida, outside of Tampa. Huge,
On the beach, yep.
huge hurricane approaching.
He was at Ground Zero. Actually, it's happening right now.
Milton the Monster, or whatever it is. a hurricane is approaching Florida. Fortunately for me, before I even knew about the hurricane, I ordered cigar blend.
There. Oh.
And apparently I got an email like 2 hours later saying it's been shipped.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah,
Get
so
out before the storm.
I'll have Monkey Coat coffee.
Might be the very last one you get.
Might be correct, and which makes me sad. But you reached out to Matt. You said
I did. Well, there's a whole backstory too. They're getting rid of their inventory, so it's.
Oh, do tell. Go ahead.
Well, I didn't mean it that way. Yeah, but I did. I texted Matt and see how Matt was feeling. So, and he was doing. Him and his mom are in good. They're 30, 40 miles away, so they're safe.
30, 40 miles away from what?
From the hurricane.
The hurricane is like half the size of Florida.
Well,
No matter where they're at, they're not good.
well, they're better than they were. Right, they're on the beach in Mateer Beach. He's on the beach. I mean, maybe he's high up, but his mother's house got flooded in the last one. She did. All right, I'm not going to tell you the score then.
I'll just turn around and look at the
No,
score.
you
but
won't.
Anyway, monkeycoatcoffee.com.
I'll stand up and cover it.
If you go there, if there's anything left of it, as Claire says, if you go there, monkeycoatcoffee.com, there will be, they have multiple artisan coffees, bourbon, chocolate chip flavored, toasted coconut rum, golden honey agave, Peruvian,
Sumatra?
Floridian, Sumatra.
Now being renamed Milton.
And yes, and the cigar blend, which has hints of amaretto, which is fantastic. And use the promo code DCROCKS10 for 10% off your order.
Yep.
And for every order placed, while he still can, Matt will be making a
Oh,
donation
you
to the
don't get in trouble for
Pediatric
that.
Cancer Foundation,
You don't get in trouble for that comment.
National Pediatric
What are you
Cancer
saying?
Foundation. Well, I'm
are
just
you
following
saying?
your lead there, producer lady.
Fine.
Mhm.
Whatever.
So, yeah, monkeycoatcoffee.com. Just like Sinister Footwear. You go to sinisterfw.com and check out any of Tina's crazy, wild, fabulous socks. And you place an order there and use the promo code DCR Socks. You'll also get 10% off your order.
Yes.
sinisterfw.com. Cigar Beauty. Go to cigar.beauty on Instagram and follow Holly. She is the purveyor of Crown Majesty cigars, or you can go to crownmajestyscigars.com. They are the official cigar provider of me, your humble host here on Rock On Radio.
Humbly.
Well, you don't smoke cigars.
I don't.
Okay.
Thank God.
Perhaps you should start.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Perhaps. Then we'll get a whole bunch. Matter of fact,
you
I'm
want me to
going to
separate
tell
us?
her. I'm going to tell
want me
her
to smoke
that
your
you
cigars?
smoke cigars too,
Oh, you're gonna
and that way we
lie.
get double the amount of cigars.
So you're going to lie and
No.
say that I smoke
no.
cigars.
And Bruce
All-
smokes cigars.
No. All he has to do, right, is have you with the cigar unlit
Oh. Isn't that
and a
gross?
picture of it.
Oh, a picture of this. I just had a proof of doing
Actually, do you know how we happened upon Holly at Cigar
Matt.
Beauty?
Yeah.
Was through Matt.
Right.
So she could be in danger too.
She could be.
So I should probably hurry up and walk down there because we can't fly.
You can't fly. No,
So
it's
I'll
too
walk down
expensive.
there and I'll protect them both.
Okay. I'd like to see you try.
Fine. Go to Instagram and follow Holly of Crown Majesty Cigars at cigar.beauty. We have others? Who am I missing?
Sandy Hall.
Oh, Sandy Hall. That's right. Sandy, last week she was the first one, I think I said. And this week I forgot about her. I'm a horrible host.
You are. You're just horrible.
I am.
Terrible, horrible.
Correct. When they name an award after me, like that Josie character, then we'll.
Well,
Then
it's like Rotten Tomato score. It'll be like
wow.
They'll name one after you.
That hurt Joe over there, man. He Although, what is it with that chair? Everybody named Joe likes to sit in that chair. Do you notice
it's
that,
comfy,
Bruce?
Yeah. It is.
I see that.
It's comfy.
It's good. As long as you're comfortable,
Yeah,
Joe. Good.
It is.
All
It's
right.
a comfy chair. I might start sitting in that chair.
Sandy Hall Music. Go to sandyhallmusic.com. Sandy has recently signed with Deko Entertainment.
Woo!
And
Yay.
they have
have a whole
she just
tour coming
released
out.
her album called Full
Full
Circle.
Circle.
And she's got a whole bunch of things
Mm-hmm.
happening. Sandy Hall. Go to sandyhallmusic.com.
Yep. And they did just have had to postpone due to illness for this past week, but they rescheduled it for January. So that'll be good.
I see. All right. I know we have one more sponsor left, and I know who that is. But
Yes.
just to make sure, since we were not here last week, we had to put together a Franken show. Am I missing anybody?
Am I missing someone? I think we have everybody.
I thought so, too.
Yeah.
I just had to double check because
'Cause why? Did you miss one last week?
no.
I can make up one.
Oh, really?
I can make up a sponsor.
Can you make something up where it's before I do this last one where it'll get us like free stuff? We already got food, beer, and cigars. Not sure what other and we
Art
have desserts.
supplies. That's my addiction is art supplies.
Okay, what do you do with these art supplies when you have these?
I put them in order. I line them up. I organize them. I use them if I need them. But, you know, you can never have too many art supplies. I build sets. I do paint. Yeah. It's an addiction. What do you do with your cigars?
I use them, then you don't see them anymore.
Well, sorry. That's the kind of... You just have to get one that has a little more substance to it.
Yeah, anyway, live from the 2-track studios of Deko Entertainment, Bruce has returned to the building, rightfully so, since he owns it. And it still amazes me how he allows us to lock it up every week.
Yeah. Well, we're very trustworthy. Well, I mean, I lock up.
You heard that, right? So that little incident that happened a couple of weeks ago, you heard who locks up, right?
What incident?
Did I ever tell you about the incident which happened around this time of year when we were at the church in Heightstown doing this radio show? Old Sparky over here. No.
No ghost. I broke the fire alarm.
Somebody left. There was a tiger
There was a rocking
on wheels,
rocking chair,
like a hobby
like a-
horse, but
yeah.
it was a tiger.
And it was this big.
And to get into the church, you had to go through. You went into the
Up the stairs.
the vestibule in the back of the church. Then you went to the right and you went up a flight of steps. And when you got up to the flight,
There's a
to
foyer.
the second flight, there's a very narrow hallway, not much bigger than one of these tables, even maybe one and a half of these tables that we're sitting at. For those of you watching at home, but it's very dark. So you go to hit and to be able to do that, you got to get to the light.
And the light switch is right
So-
to the left
And
inside.
once you come out of the hallway, you come into a very large room, about the size of this one. And the light switch is on the wall. Well, somebody left the tiger right there through the little door.
So
She
he's
sees it,
behind me. I'm in front.
Flips
and
out.
I'm like, whoa.
and she goes
I
like
go
that.
I go to put my arms back.
Sets
and I
off
hit,
the fire. She hits the fire.
I break. It's old plastic.
In case of
It's
emergency,
so old.
break glass.
Break plastic. I hit it, and it starts. And then they come in. They start like, that hay bale is a fire hazard. You're going to be cited. The whole poor church was thrown under
Next
the
thing
bus.
you know, a fire truck,
And they-
an ambulance, 2 police cars, and the fire chief show up. And I'm like, I called
Full gear.
911 back myself. I'm
Full
like,
gear.
no. Don't send anybody here. Well, the alarm's going off. We have to send somebody. So then in comes Paul Blart, fire cop, and he comes in and, with the hail bear. Oh, this is all a fire hazard. You got to get this out of here. I looked at him. I said, this ain't my place, man. What do you want me to do? I'm
And we
like,
had guests
now?
coming. We had guests coming in for this thing. So then they can't shut the fire alarm off.
Then they can't find it.
No, they couldn't shut it off because they realized it was broken. See, they thought they could just shut it off. They thought I pulled it, but I broke it when I hit it.
So they had to shut it off at the box, and they couldn't find it.
They had to rubber band it. They had to put rubber bands around it so that it could stop, so they could shut it off downstairs. So for the longest time, it had rubber bands around the fire alarm. It was great.
Safety first.
That's right. Then they did fix it, but it was my fault. It was my fault. So he's trying to say that I shouldn't be trustworthy, but I do.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
Well, you were bringing that up.
So let's get to our guests now. How can they find us, Claire?
They go to dcror.com, which is the short link for Danny Coleman's rockonradio.com.
Correct. Facebook.com/Danny Coleman's Rock On Radio 2. That is the number 2. Instagram and X at Rock On Radio, all one word, all capital letters. So, our guests this evening have traveled far and wide.
That's right.
Our man Joe over there was afraid he was going to be destroyed. Never seen or heard from again.
So he was sitting and waiting for us as we walked.
Which is a general theme whenever anybody comes here. They think they're in the hinterlands and they're never getting out alive, Bruce. It happens. I told him that. He wouldn't be the first.
Won't be the last.
That's why that creek's there. That's where we just throw the bodies on the other side over there. But Joe is here because he has met our guest here this evening, who, as we said, we met at the Long Branch Jazz and Blues Festival as he performed with his father's unit. And of course, we have entertained his father on a couple of shows, and we're glad to have him here. So please welcome G. Shaw, the Garden State Great.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. Claire,
right.
Thank you very much. Danny,
Yes, sir.
thank you very much. Rock On Radio.
Oh, we thoroughly enjoyed your set at
was
the
a lot of
Jazz
fun.
and Blues Festival.
Thank you. And I almost forgot to thank Bruce.
That's right.
Thank you, Bruce.
That's right.
Now, Claire had asked me earlier today. Our guest is confirmed. So the checklist that she goes through that. Because I can't be trusted. And
I may pull fire alarms, but
she asked me if you were performing live. She asked me if you were bringing anybody. She asked me if I had music, so on and so forth. And I said 99% sure he's not performing live. I think he's coming alone. And I'm not sure when we're getting his music.
So he was wrong on all counts. I got everything, and we're all set. And you have a guest.
Well, he's usually correct. I'm used to doing a lot of shows or big shows alone, actually. That's how my career started off. I would go do shows in New York City. I have shows with Hot 97, Power 105, other events with magazines. And unfortunately, friends would be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to come. And then, I'm waiting by the bus and, I get the text message or earlier in the day, oh, I can't go, this and that. So unfortunately, but fortunately at the same time, that's how I built my courage because I had to travel out of state.
By yourself.
By myself, meet people, engage with people and put myself in a position where I could become a better person, which is the ultimate goal.
Nice. Awesome.
Well, there you
We're
go.
glad you're here. And we're
Thank
glad
you.
Joe's
Thank
here.
you for
All
having
right,
me.
all right. With all that said now, explain Joe then.
Explain Joe.
So Joe and I used to work together at Whole Foods Market.
Oh, cool.
And then Joe also helped me get a job at one point when I worked at Wegmans.
Nice.
Joe's been very supportive of me through everything. When he worked in Manalapan, the Manalapan Wegmans, and I would perform in Freehold, he pretty much came to almost every show.
Nice.
And he did that because he knew how I'm used to not having people there to support me. So he just wanted to make sure that at least I could look out there and I would see him, feel comfortable, and, be able to be who I am as a person and just show everyone, what I'm about and what I strive to do every day. So that's why he's here right now, because someone else was supposed to come and they weren't able to, but Joe was like, bro, I got you, because he knows the struggle. He knows what I've been through. And regardless, I would have been here even if he wasn't able to come.
Nice. But we're glad you're here, both of you. Yay.
Fantastic. All right. So you said a key phrase in there that I am going to latch on to.
Wegmans. Sorry. Was there another key phrase in there?
It's like word association. Art.
Supplies.
Yes, yes, yes. That's great. We're ready for password. You said, now I forget where I was going with this.
Key phrase.
Right. Key phrase. Correct.
I may take you off track, but I'll bring you back.
No, you said something about finding out who you are.
Yes.
Okay. So who are you?
So I'm someone who you wouldn't expect. One thing about me is I have one ultimate goal. And all it is to become the best version of myself that I can possible. With that, everything else happens. Greatness, meaning you become a better son because you're striving to be better at whatever. So then you're going to be a better son. You're going to be a better friend, better sister, brother, uncle, mentor, you name it. But if you're not chasing the best version of yourself, you're kind of wasting your time here, technically, because you think you can do this, but you can actually do more. And the reason I say that is because I taught myself how to rap. And I never thought I would be able to do what I can do today. And each day is like that because a lot of times I'll get in front of audiences in improv split second. But I remember those times when I would practice initially and it didn't sound good at all. And I would say to myself, oh, you're terrible, you're this, like you suck. I would tell myself that because it didn't sound fluent. Even though I knew I would become better at it, it was all about, it's always been about, to me, the end goal. And the end goal is always going to be to create the best version of yourself.
Well, I can't imagine, given the stock that you come from, that being a very difficult task. I mean, Claire and I absolutely adore your father, Kumo, and we loved having him on the show. It was so good to see him at that festival. And I mean, I've run into him so many times over the years, playing with Peter Viteska and then Papa John and all those kind of things. And do you perform with him often?
So that's his band, but I'm the lead singer in that band.
Oh,
okay.
Cool.
So we've been doing that since, I think it's 2017.
Nice.
But we've actually, been creating that type of music well before then. I used to go to a jazz jam at La Tavola Cucina in South River. He took me there one day, and, I always liked listening to jazz, but, I didn't really understand jazz like that. So we would go, weekly because it was on a Thursday night. The guys would play or whatever, and I would just listen to the rhythms. And I'm like, all right, yeah, this is cool. They would have different people come sing, play different instruments. And I'm like, all right, yeah, jazz is cool. I have more respect for it. I mean, it's one of the predecessors of hip hop, so that's like one of the reasons why, I've always been very drawn to it, because any of the elements of hip hop I'm just drawn to. I can't explain it. So going there, listening to the rhythms, I would go there and I would sing. And the one thing about, with me singing is I happened to write a song and I would perform that song. So everyone just knew I was a singer. No one knew that I can do a lot more than that. So, of course, I would come there and perform in a singing aspect. And behind the scenes, I'm just listening to the rhythms, really studying it. Okay, this is how the drums go. Oh, this is similar, really similar to hip hop. Okay. So what I'm about to start explaining to you is how I improv as well. So to me, like, I'm like, all right, this is how the drums go. All right, cool. All I have to really do is stay within the drums. It doesn't matter what's playing, because if I'm within the drums, then I'm definitely, as long as I'm in the rhythm set, doesn't really matter. Mm-hmm. So going there, hearing that, one time, I'm like, all right, I know I can spit bars on this. Like, so they're playing a song, and then I just start rapping. And it's all off the top, just rapping. So now so then I stop rapping, and they're done playing the song, and they just stop, and they all look at each other. They're all like confused, just looking at each other, like talking to each other, but they're like. So then one guy, he looks at me, Joe Lisa, who's the lead guitarist, and he's our musical director. He looks at me, and he's like, "What was that?" So I just look at him. I'm like, "What? You talking about rapping? Rap? Yeah. Whatever that was, you do that. Don't do anything else. Do that." So, at that time, of course, it's still hard because people are used to, your traditional jazz, singing a certain way, those type of rhythms. So, but where I was, a lot of people were receptive to new music or fusion of the music. So at that time, I've made fans who are 70 years old, 80 years old, because they listen to jazz, but then the way I guess I present it, it's in a form that they wouldn't expect. And because it's clean, there's no cursing, there's no derogatory of women or anything like that. They're more receptive to it. And then all of a sudden, now they understand what hip hop is truly about. The poetry involved with it, the storytelling, how what you say being an MC is truly your word. It's not something that you took from someplace else. It's coming from within. It's you expressing your soul in an art form to those who are in front of you. Hey, this is who I am. It's like that saying in The Get Down on Netflix. I love that show because it just talks about the beginning of hip hop. This one guy says, if you give the universe everything, it'll give you back more than what you expect. And all you have to do is just sit back and enjoy it. But you have to give the universe everything. So that's why I always talk about, like I said earlier, you have to go for the ultimate you or the best version of yourself, because at the end of the day, you're always going to surprise yourself.
That's great.
True. I surprised myself on the way here. I mean,
You surprise me all the time.
Well, there you go. No, and
he was talking about 80-year-old people enjoying, and that's
right in my age
that's
group.
you.
Yeah. She's harsh, man.
Like 40 years, that's you.
Yeah.
100.
Dog years, maybe. No. So
True.
well, and now normally I'm going to. We've had other rappers or people who incorporate a lot of rap into their original music, or sections of, there's always that breakdown where they rap something, then go back to being like a singer-songwriter in the same song. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
But you, in the 15 plus years I've done this, are probably, matter of fact, you are the first rapper I've had on the show.
Thank you.
Now, normally, no, thank you for making a drive here. normally I stay away from rap and hip hop for exactly what you just said. The lyrical content, I don't want to put something out over the air that's going to have to get
Conflict.
bleeped out every
Right.
10 seconds or create some sort of conflict. I appreciate anybody's art. I just like this program, you know what? Some people can't stand and others enjoy it. When it comes to art, like we have a very good friend of this program who's a abstract artist. No, not fire. No, not an abstract artist. And I always say it, and she paints in fluid acrylics, and I always say to her, Adriana, like she'll tell me what she had in mind when she painted it. But and I've got a painting or two of hers at home, but if you hung it up on the wall and I asked you that, you might look at it and say, either I got no freaking idea, or oh yeah, that looks kind of like rose flowers, and to art, to everyone it's subjective. It to everyone
Correct.
it means something different.
Mm-hmm.
Lyrics you hear to you may mean one thing, to me may mean another. What was they trying to say there? So art is always very different. It's subjective, but the lyrical content. Now you mentioned that off the top of your head. Did you freestyle a lot, and is that how you write your lyrical content? Did you go to freestyle events? Do you go? How did you hone this craft?
So to me, it's always been about structuring each part. Like I've said, and I'm going to keep saying, the best version of yourself. I've seen artists, who are great rappers, but they're not great songwriters. Or they're a great rapper, a great songwriter, but they're not a great performer. So what I did with myself is I tried to fuse what hip-hop needs, or just what an artist needs, or what someone would look at a rapper as, what it's supposed to be. Not what people are being told, by labels to do, but what it's supposed to be. So that's why I feel personally I'm great at all of those, because I've studied each one and then made sure that I'm great at it. Not good, but great at it. And I say great because of the amount of time, friendships I've lost, or just other things that have happened in my life because I've spent that much time working on each part. Like, you'll have an artist who you hear his record or her record, man, this is fire, this is lit. And now you're watching them live and the voice doesn't sound like the record. So to me, what's the point of that? Okay, yeah, you sound great, but the only thing that really matters is what you do in front of someone. Because personally, to me, you can't hide behind the studio. You can't hide behind the effects now. Right here in front of me is what's the real deal. So to me, I've always made sure that performance has to be better than the writing and the improving, because the performance shows everyone, no matter what, if you like it or you don't, you respect it. And everyone's not going to like you. That's just how, that's the law of the averages, numbers and everything. But people will respect it, because I've had people come up to me, I don't like rap, I don't like it at all, but what you do is just witty. It's genius, this and that. But going back to what you were talking about, the writing, the freestyle, and the performing, you have to practice a lot. You really have to practice, even when you do not believe you're that good at it, because that's yesterday. If you're looking at the future, then it doesn't matter. So to explain to you one thing about myself, I knew I was top notch on the stage at Long Branch. But you know what I said to myself after that? Man, you did that then? Imagine how good you're going to be in a year from now if you keep working at it like this. You'll make something like that look like it's nothing. And that's all I care about. I don't care about ladies being around. Oh, you're so-and-so. At the end of the day, that doesn't matter. What matters is how great you can become. And that's why I have great at the end of it. Garden State, great. New Jersey, great. Because what I made sure is I can do something that most people in the world cannot do. And it's be able to do all three of those things. I will sit for an hour, 10 minutes, whatever, and practice freestyling. Then there are days that I'll sit there, and I wake up at 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, put the laptop on, type. Sometimes I don't type on the laptop. I write, because writing is the best form. And a lot of people don't understand what goes on with your mind when you write things down. There's a heavy level of memorization that goes on that you do not think about, because you think about the thought. Now the thought has to hit the paper. But before it hits the paper, that's twice already. But now it runs through your veins. That's more memorization and it being in your body. Then after it's on the paper, you see it. That's another memorization. So when you do this with things that you love, put words together in different ways, when you see them and you're in front of people, you're envisioning those words, but you're really not envisioning them because they're a part of you, because you've worked so hard at all of them. You have to be able to write in order to be able to freestyle well, because otherwise then you have a limited vocabulary.
Right.
You have to read. I read as well. There's a lot of things with me that make me what I consider exceptional. And normally I don't talk like this in front of people, but it's the truth now, because there's been a lot of different venues that I've been in that I've done top-notch things. And the beauty of being able to do the top-notch things is to reflect on it, but make sure you go back to it, the roots of it. Because like I said, I did this, this is great. I can do better than that. So you have to be able to write. You have to be able to read. You have to be able to perform. So the writing and the reading is still its own thing, as well as your practice of freestyling. Because now you have to walk around, look at different things, make sure you're making eye contact with people. You have to make sure the crowd is engaged. That's what an MC is. You have to do all that. And so I've truly embraced that, because I've always known I could become that, and I know that I can become more than that.
Excellent. No, it's kind of like, especially what you were talking about, writing things down. They say people, Claire, of my advanced age, that you should do like crossword puzzles every day to keep your brain sharp and so that you remember a certain vocabulary things.
Was it writing with quill pens?
And an
Did
inkwell.
that help you?
Yeah, no, it was the Flintstones. I chiseled it.
Oh, it chiseled out.
Would you like to do some music now, sir?
Sure,
so we
why
can
not?
observe what you're speaking
Yes,
of
that's
here?
right.
Sure. Let's go with grammar, since we're talking about,
All
words and wordsmith and everything. So grammar, the way it hits is, it talks about, it goes all technical into grammar, definitions and everything. And actually, I produced this track. It's off my album Dennis. That's on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, every platform possible. And the reason I wrote that one is about grammar. And one thing with the wordsmith is wordplay. So depending on what you're listening to, it could have more than one meaning. It could have two, it could have three. So it's all really about, like you said, art, subjective. So as long as I can catch you on one of those, let's say I throw 3 of them out and I catch you on one, I'm good.
Check the perspective.
Exactly.
Triple entendre.
Right,
Yes.
Here is G. Shaw, the Garden State Great, which we'll get a little more into when we come back, and his song called
Grammar.
Grammar. Noun. Grammar is the whole system and structure of a language or of languages in general. Usually taken and consisting of syntax and morphology, and sometimes also phonology and semantics. Where's your grammar at? The mic in my hand like Thor with the hammer. Summon forces, turn energy to grammar. Flow platano en español, the flow bananas. Is that a mirror? Now that phone's on camera. I'm an intellectual, this in my dwelling. I don't look like an MC, who you telling? You laugh along cause you know it's the truth. I spit so much fire, I burned every single tooth. And I don't see them no more like a phone booth. Now every single tooth that I got fireproof. There is no question I'm the truth in the booth. Go to K&G men's, match a suit with the coupe. Turn wine into water and water into wine. Reverse osmosis and manipulate time. Step my game up so much my calves hurt. I'm not Wolverine, but on tracks I go berserk. Women see me get weak in the knees. Forest fire is the way I smoke trees. You might think my parents are Chinese. Always high in the air trap. Peace. Women see me get weak in the knees. Forest fire is the way I smoke trees. You might think my parents are Chinese. Always high in the air trap. Peace. I got one shot, went and got the golden gun. Went and grabbed the hammer, but now Odin's son. The hammer is the mic, no talker gun. G. Shaw on the mic, I'm the one. Ain't see this coming like a QB sneak. Computers can't determine or project my peak. Training with dragons so I can spit this heat. I do this every day and every hour of the week. Women see me get weak in the knees. Forest fire is the way I smoke trees. You might think my parents are Chinese. Always high in the air trap. Peace. Women see me get weak in the knees. Forest fire is the way I smoke trees. You might think my parents are Chinese. Always high in the air trap. Peace. They try to count me out without even counting. Swim at beaches, lay right next to mountains. Big booty for his size, give a pouncing. I grew up in the burbs, my grandma moved mountains. Losing track of these bars, but who's counting? So I hire an accountant to start counting. Touch women below, it flow like a fountain. Only reason I know, cause I started counting. Women see me get weak in the knees. Forest fire is the way I smoke trees. You might think my parents are Chinese. Always high in the air trap. Peace. Women see me get weak in the knees. Forest fire is the way I smoke trees. You might think my parents are Chinese. Always high in the air.
Go ahead. We're back? Okay, good. All right. That was a song called Grammar from
Garden State Great.
G. Shaw, the Garden State Great. And I want to talk about that when
Hold
we
on. You
come back.
Open it.
Oop. All right. Hopefully we got both there. Doesn't look like it's been conferenced, but oh well. All right. On the phone with us, I think I have Paul Sears.
That would be correct. Out here
Okay.
from hot and sunny Arizona.
All right. I was unaware this was going to be a conference, so we may not have Tenk on the other line at the moment. But let me see. Hold on for 1 second. I'm trying to merge. There we go. Do I have both of you gentlemen on the line here on Rock On Radio?
Outstanding.
You got Tenk.
Yay.
Okay,
Woohoo.
good. Yay! Technology actually worked for me.
Success.
That is amazing.
Mr. Tenk is in the house.
There you
Hey,
go.
Paul.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Excellent.
Hot
thanks.
out here in Arizona for sure.
Now, where are you in Arizona there, Mr. Paul?
About 60 miles east of Phoenix in a little mining town called Superior,
Ah,
which is kind of cool. It's super small. I can walk to everything. Driving's an option. It's a sweet place to live.
now, do you remember, Paul, when Sedona used to be that way?
No, I don't. I don't know anything. I didn't know anything about Arizona till I moved here in 2010 from Baltimore. Although I had visited out here a few times, but I was unaware of how when Sedona was not as overrun with pink Jeeps and tourists as it is now.
Correct, but you shot my entire thing right in the rear end there, Paul. I'll just tell you that right now.
That's what I do, baby.
No, actually, I was in Sedona in 1989. It had 2 traffic lights, one at either end of the town, and one of them blinked. It was a blinker. It wasn't even a red and green traffic light. And
Well, that's awesome. Where I live now, we don't have one traffic light, not one.
there you go. So it's all systems go.
Now that's
Yep,
awesome.
hopefully.
Wow.
Well, Paul and Tank, say hello to my producer, Claire, my
Hey,
guest, G. Shaw, the Garden State great, Joe, and Bruce from Deko is here
Bruce,
with us as
holy
well.
moly.
Hey, this is a party.
Yeah,
Wow,
Claire.
man. You mean Shabazz Von Bruce actually showed up? Yay!
Wow. Look at you. Bruce can't hear what you're saying because he doesn't have any headphones on. But
That's all right. He wouldn't want to hear it anyway.
no, he probably wouldn't. want to hear it. No.
You'll hear it
Speak
eventually.
freely then.
Although Bruce is the one that usually puts this online at DecoEntertainment.com, so
Blank
he could cut you out. He could cut this entire segment out if he wanted.
Okay, well then I'll watch my mouth a little bit. But anyway, hey everybody, and hello producer. Thanks for doing this.
Sure.
You guys are
Yeah,
most
thanks for
welcome.
doing this.
All right, so Tank,
Yes.
guitar player. You compose on keyboards. You
Right.
According to the excuse me press release I have, you have influences from Randy Rhoads to Frank Zappa.
That's correct. And in more recent years, I've gotten more into jazz. So John Abercrombie is one of my top influences.
I see in Miles Davis as well.
And the music of Miles Davis, I mean, he everything he touched turned to gold as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so tell me how this affects the music.
Well, I think you can hear elements of all that in this album, of all the aforementioned influences. Some of the lead solos kind of harken to Randy Rhoads. I always liked his melodic kind of almost classical approach to his playing. And, of course, Frank Zappa, and like his guitar solos were always dissonant and improvised, and he had an unconventional way of picking. So, I've always kind of strove to do that and stay away from standard scales as much as I can. As far as the John Abercrombie influence, there was a beauty to his playing. I adopted playing with my thumb on a hollow body a lot, and I found that you can really be expressive playing that way with your thumb rather than a pick. So that it kind of changed the way I play, in addition to writing my own chords. So the whole thing kind of goes hand in hand. As far as the Miles Davis influence, I think most of that is like the feel in the music and the dramatic qualities of it, I think would be the best way to explain.
All right.
that.
Well, we were just discussing jazz, actually, with my guest, the Garden State great, here this evening. And, well, before I get a little before I delve a little deeper into that. The whole reason you're calling this evening is because you guys have a new album out.
That's correct.
Or-
Aperiodic Grok.
Okay. Who wants to tell us about that one?
Paul, why don't you?
Well, I will. Since you asked, Tank approached me on Facebook some months ago and asked me if I was available to make a record with him. And I was not horribly familiar with the music that he does. And if you look at my catalog, the stuff I've recorded is all over the map. And I suggested that he send me some of the music so I could make a decision whether or not I wanted to do this. And the stuff that he sent me was an absolute breath of fresh air. So I said, "Yeah, I will jump on this project." And he sent me 9 tunes to play on, and they were pretty involved. I mean, none of his tunes are long, but there's a lot going on in each composition. And so it took me, maybe 3 weeks to record it all. And it was a lot of fun. It was a blast. And we're trying to dream up ways to be able to do this stuff live.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Now I see, Paul, that you have quite a diverse background as well. I too am a drummer. So
My sympathies.
yeah. So I desperately need a roadie, Paul. I desperately need a roadie. I'm not young anymore. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Matter of fact, next week, producer Claire and I are on location, and we're going to record a show to be aired. Next week's show is going to be aired. We're recording a blues music night at a place in Neptune, New Jersey called The Headliner. And the gentleman, one of the bands that was playing, said, "Is there any chance you can fill in? My drummer can't make it that evening." And my first question to this guy was, "Is it backlined?" Because there's no way I am lugging my drums out to do like a half-hour set at this showcase, you know?
Yeah, boy, do I hear that.
Well, I can relate to that because that's how. If you're familiar with Cyril Rideau and Clearlight, who were one of the early bands on Virgin Records back in the 70s, when he put that band back together, back in 2003, they got a festival gig in North Carolina, and their drummer, unfortunately, he took himself out about 3 weeks before the gig, and by hook or by crook, the festival suggested me, and Clearlight sent me the music, and I had to learn all their stuff in about 4 days, and then go down and play live a festival with these guys in North Carolina at Prague Day, and it turned out to be pretty cool. And then years later, Cyril asked me to make an album with him, which I did, which is called Impressionist Symphony, and it probably goes down as the prettiest album I ever played on. But it was a lot of fun.
Not saying a lot, considering I see you've worked with the Dixie Dregs, Hawkwind, members of the
That's correct.
Orchestra. Yeah.
Yes, I have recorded with thanks to Tom Webb, who goes by T.S. Henry Reb, and he was in a band called The Flock in the way back when. And their violinist, Jerry Goodman, got snapped up by the Mahavishnu Orchestra. And Tom Webb and I recorded together, and Jerry put really cool violin tracks on the CD that actually comes with my book. If you go to my website, paulsears.net, there's a link to that, and the CD that comes with it, it's got people from Vandergraaf Generator on it, from Hawkwind, from
Frank Zappa's band.
No, there's no Zappa people on that disc, but I have played with Don Preston and Bunk Gardner, and Mike Keneally. All of those guys I've played with. But one of the cool things that's on that thing is a vocal by Robert Berry, who's the guy that replaced like Greg Lake in the band Three with Keith Emerson and Carl Palmer. And he's on that disc. And I've been doing this stuff for a long time, so I've ended up playing with an awful lot of people. If you look at my website, it's all over the map.
I laugh at that because Barry is a friend of mine. As a matter of fact, he just called here a couple of weeks ago.
Who's this?
Robert Barry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's great, man. I've actually never met the guy, but I'm on an album with him.
There you go. That's commonplace today. So speaking of which, so Tenk, how did you go about putting the musicians together for this?
Well, there's only two musicians. It's just Paul and I. I played all the instruments except for the drums.
Nice.
Oh, okay. No,
So
I don't
that
have
made it
any of
easy.
that information in front of me. That's why I ask.
Yeah, it was kind of a one-man show, and I really got into it, planning on doing like kind of a quiet sort of jazz album, and I started chipping away, turning out songs. And then I met Paul, and sent him a couple of the tracks, like he said. And this was early on, right at the beginning of the year in February, I believe. And at the same time, he said, "Hey, I got a book I wrote." So I definitely wanted to read his book because, I knew a little about him, but not a lot. So his book, Angels and Demons That Play, he sent it to me, and he agreed to do these songs of, four. I think I had four of them finished at that time. And I started reading his book, and the more I read, the more excited I got about this whole thing, because I really wanted this album to have a lot of dynamics and creativity and to be like, to take you places. And his attitude and philosophy and all the different people he's played with and his interest in classical music and avant-garde, I started getting more and more excited about this whole thing. And at that point, for me, it was like, all right, I'm pulling out all the plugs. I'm not going to stick to trying to do this quiet album. Let's try to write some music that I think would excite Paul more. And it snowballed from there.
Oh,
and I couldn't be happy.
Yeah, it was a blast to record. It was a blast to record it, and it was a perfect storm on my end because I had just configured my studio and upgraded some microphones, and I think it's probably the best. It's up there with the best drum sound I've ever gotten on any album, and I've played on a lot of albums.
Nice.
very nice.
And the way Tenk did all the production, and we went back and forth on that for a couple of weeks as far as dynamics and instruments and on compression and all that sort of thing. And we ended up with what I think is a real gem. I'm extremely pleased with this product.
I'm pleased
And
with it too.
And I really hope a lot of people like it. And I think it's I think it has appeal outside the quote unquote prog. God, I hate that word. Community. I think this record will have a much broader appeal than probably anything else I've ever played on.
Well, now
I'm really, really happy with it, and I'm really stoked that Deko picked it up. It was actually quite a surprise, and we're really happy to be here.
Well, I only have 2 tracks from it, and they are both. I believe they're both instrumental, from what the little bit I heard of each.
Well, the whole thing is instrumental.
That was going to be my question.
Is
Is the whole record instrumental? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
This was like breaking free from the restrictions of playing vocal music. I really wanted it to be open and creative, and pull out all the plugs.
All right.
There was one track that we did that I really thought vocal would fit on it. I have a very good friend who was in La Belle. And I wrote to her to ask her if she'd be interested, but unfortunately, she's mixed up doing tribute gigs on Broadway for the foreseeable future.
No, there you
So
go.
that never happened, and that's kind of unfortunate. But anyway, we're happy with it. We're happy with it the way it is.
That was another friend of mine, Sarah Dash of LaBelle. She passed away probably 6 or 7 years ago now.
That long ago?
I think
No,
so.
Like 2 or 3.
So check that out. All right, so websites, how do we find you guys?
Well, you can find us on Deko Entertainment's website.
Well, this I know, but
and I have a website, and we both. I have a couple of face bag pages. I'm pretty easy to find, and the record. Well, we hope will be pretty easy to find thanks to Deko Entertainment. So
is that the only? Is that the only place we can find it?
Reach. Yeah, we license the product to Deko. Deko's the label, and that's it. We're not distributing it ourselves or putting it online or any of that stuff. That's all up to the team at Deko Entertainment.
Now, I have another band called Temple of Switches, and we have a website. It's just www.templeofswitches.com, and there's a tab on there pertaining to aperiodic grok with a bunch of information about the album. I also have a Bandcamp, Tenk Van Dool at Bandcamp, and there's a link to Deko from my Bandcamp page as well. So
Excellent.
It's hard not to find.
Beautiful. I love that. All right, and before I go ahead, producer Claire.
She died 2 years ago. 3
But you
years
just
ago.
said-
3 years ago, 2021.
2021,
Yeah,
right after
September.
COVID, Sarah Dash
September.
passed away.
2021. Yep.
Correct. All right. Well, we're going to play the Berkeley Barn Dance right now, and I have to get going because I have to get back to my to the Garden State Great, who is sitting here patiently in studio with us, and
Yeah, I lived in New Jersey off and on for a couple of years. I know the area.
whereabouts?
I lived in Scotts Plains, Hillsborough, Fanwood, and very briefly in a really weird little place, but not for very long, called Middlesex.
Yep.
Middlesex County,
That's right.
Hillsborough.
great. All off of 22.
Right.
Well, we are in Stockton, New Jersey at the moment, which is not far from Hillsborough.
Gotcha.
So
That's where Deko is too, correct?
Yep.
that's where we're at. We're at
We're
the
at
2-track studios of Deko Entertainment. So
Awesome.
that's why I wasn't kidding when I said Bruce was here. He just left. He walked out the door. So
Well, great googly moogly.
that's right. All right, guys. Well, good luck. The album is out, and once again, it's called
Aperiodic
Periodic
grok.
Grok by Tank Van Dool and Paul Sears.
Enjoy.
All right, guys. Rock on.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having
thanks
us.
a bunch. We really appreciate it. Love you.
All right, man.
Bye. Woo.
Rock on. We love everybody. All right. Here is the Berkeley Barn Dance. Oh, I see.
Sorry, I was a little distracted.
So an emergency on your part now requires an emergency on my part.
No.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just letting
Good.
you know it
'Cause
was
I'm
done.
like way too laid back for emergencies right now.
I wouldn't dream of giving you an emergency.
Thank you. I cannot handle too
I
much
kn-
pressure.
I know.
Welcome back to Rock On Radio. That was Tank Van Dool and the Berkeley Barn Dance, which was kind of cool. You were checking it out.
Yeah. I like the change up on it. It kind of had like a rock vibe to it, but not really. It was like more like it stayed within the jazz realm, but it was kind of like jumping over the line, but jumping back.
Yeah.
I really like that.
So tell us why you chose the name that you chose.
Well, one thing is G Shaw. That's always been a catchy name. The reason I say that is because in college I would tell people my real name, and then once I had the nickname G Shaw. What's up, G Shaw? What's up, G Shaw? Even to the point that my friend Corey, it was his senior year, and he was graduating in like 2 or 3 weeks, and he says to me, he's like, G Shaw, what is your real name, man? I forgot. I'm like, so I told him my real name, and then he started laughing. He's like, oh, man, how could I forget that? Now, Garden State Great is because of course, I'm from New Jersey, and greatness is always something that I chase and always wanted to chase. But at the same time, it was what has a nice ring to it that people will always remember. And the one thing that I know for a fact, people always remember Garden State Great.
Yeah.
Because I've been places, let's say I haven't been there in a few years, and then Garden State Great, they hear that, hey, wait, yeah. Or if people come up to me and they're like, wait. So another thing about Garden State Great, how it's very catchy, is when I used to work at Wegmans, there was a gentleman, Phil, who I used to work with. He came to one of my shows, and he came with one of his friends. And I happen to know his friend. I used to work with his friend back in 2008. His friend is an optometrist, and when I used to work in optometry, I worked with him. So I've known him for years. So when I see Eddie, Eddie's telling me, like, yeah, we're in the car, and I asked Phil, who we're going to see, and he's like, oh, Garden State Great. So I said to Phil, oh, yeah, I know who that is. I know him. And Phil's like, nah, no, you don't know who he is, man. You don't know him. And Eddie's like, no, Garden State Great. I know who that is, man. I know him. So then when they showed up, I was surprised because I didn't know they knew each other. So I was like, wait, Phil? I was like, how do you know Eddie? So then Phil looked at me. He's like, wait, you guys really do know each other? I was like, hey, what's up, Eddie? And, we started talking and laughing and catching up real quick. They came to one of the shows with CMJ Jazz Band.
Nice.
So, as I was thinking of, and I'll go back to since we're coming around here with something, one of the things that kind of strikes me is that you're always striving and driving and pushing yourself to be better.
Yes.
You are great today, but you can be even more great tomorrow.
Exactly.
And I believe what I was thinking is, do you find that puts too much pressure on yourself? And do you think you'll be able to sustain that as you advance in age? And, like me playing the drums, given the fact that I have nerve damage and neuropathy in my legs and my feet, and my arms and hands, the same thing, and carpal tunnel, it's very difficult for me to play the drums the way I did at a level years ago.
Right.
I accept that. And kind of like what you had spoken of, before about if you can teach or anything of that nature earlier in the program, I've always said with this show, if I can help one person, then I've done my job. Because we had talked about success.
Yes.
A little bit, and how success is a perspective.
Yes.
So go ahead.
So I would say in the future for me, it'll be, of course, a mentor role. But if you're striving always to be the best, you think of new things to do while you're transitioning. So my transition into me not being an artist and a vocalist in front of crowds could be 20 years from now. But in that process, I've already thought about what to do. What am I still doing to use those same type of skills that will still highlight who I am as a person, as an artist, expression, all of those things. So I talk about the writing, I talk about reading, I talk about performing, I talk about improv or freestyling. But for me personally, the next element is public speaking. Because as an MC, that's one of your greatest gifts, but you overlook it because you're focusing on other elements. So for me, it is transitioning into a public speaking role, because that is another way I'll be able to reach people, inspire, motivate, create joy, happiness. And currently I'm working on a project where I'm almost done. It's about 75% done. It has to do with public speaking, about courage. It's a program about courage. And of course, courage deals with fear, but I take it to an educational perspective, talking about what causes the fear, the different attributes of courage. Because in order for me to be who I am today, who I was in order to get into this, took a lot of courage. Because anyone will tell you the person I was before I started as an artist is completely different than who I have turned into.
How important is that evolution to you?
Actually, that's the name of my first album,
Well, then
Evolution.
See? I'm one of them there psychos, Joe. You know what I mean? I'm no longer a medium.
you're a
I'm
psycho.
extra large, but I'm one of them psychos. I figured that out.
Oh, yeah.
So Evolution, of course, talks about, creating a better version of yourself. But the album, I hit different topics about me. It's more of a personal album. I talk about being homeless, a few different times when that happened to me, how certain friends reacted to me, how I handled having a job. I talked about being a dishwasher at one time, what happens to you when I'm a dishwasher. He could tell you, because that's actually when Joe and I met. I was a dishwasher at that point in time. I wrote different songs about my perspective. I talk about how I'm over here and I'm working on the deli counter serving people sandwiches. Hi, how are you? Hey, can I take your order? This and that, knowing I'm more than that. And also talking about how I have to be two people. I have to balance that, but I also have to balance, okay, you're great at this, but you have to keep your ego in check. Even though I don't believe ego exists, it's just about your humbleness. So I talk about keeping that in check. Even though I'm here doing this and someone's yelling at me, I'm having the emotional intelligence, because I know I can get in front of a crowd and they'll go crazy over me as long as I do my job.
Right. Well, speaking of which, let's do some more music
Let's do it.
before things start to slip away from us.
Okay.
That's right.
Wonder. Wonder's I like that one. That one really hits home. So I'm a single gentleman, and that song is me speaking to the woman of my dreams. I don't know who she is, but it's me speaking to her. So that's why it's very deep. It's I ask a lot of questions. You'll hear it in the song, and you're just like, wait, wow, this one really hits. It's a love song, of course.
Nice.
Yeah, see, I give him credit. Because if there was like this woman of my dreams and I saw her, I probably wouldn't be able to speak.
Well, see, this isn't me speaking to her face to face.
Oh, so you got keyboard muscles.
No. I don't know who she is. I haven't seen her.
But when he does, he can't.
Correct. So this is me just talking to her in general.
I get it now.
Right. This is on a deeper level.
What did Big Tomato say to the Little Tomato as they walked down the street? Big Tomato turned around and catch up. Stump. So anyway, I caught up. Right. Here's the Garden State
Maybe that's
Great
the problem.
with his song called
Wonder.
I haven't found the one yet, but I do think of her. What's her style? Her interest? Her smile? What does her voice sound like? I don't know who she is, but right now, I'm talking to her. I wonder if you think of me. I wonder if you think of me. I wonder if you think of me. I close my eyes and wonder who could you be? Where are you from? What's your nationality? Where will we be when we meet for the first time? Will I be top flight or drinking wine? Will it be while I'm working at the 9 to 5? Or right before I get in my Civic and drive? Or at the airport waiting for my plane to arrive? I'm wondering what color is your hair and eyes? Do you wear glasses? Do you take classes? Got me curious to know how big your ass is. Will we meet when we happen to be on a cruise? Or after I get up from tying my shoes? I'm wondering if your body has any tattoos. Any fella who see you tryna get at you. When we meet, will it be spring, summer, winter, fall? Or am I dreaming and we'll never meet at all? I wonder if you think of me. I wonder if you think of me. I close my eyes and wonder, do you think of me? Will you call me G Shaw, call me Gregory? Where do you work? What is your destiny? I wonder how tall you are when you next to me. Will we meet when we're swimming or in the water? Or shopping at Whole Foods, Market, Bridgewater? Will we meet at the gym or at the park? Or when I'm in line foot on the shopping cart? Do you like cold or do you like hot weather? Is my opinion something that you treasure? Will you be open to things outside your pleasure? I wonder how you respond when under pressure. Will you have a ring that's in your nose? I wonder, will we play outside when it snows? Will you be spicy like habaneros? I wonder if you think of me when your eyes close. I wonder if you think of me. I wonder if you think of me.
There you go. Oop, come here, microphone. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Welcome back to
I love that.
Rock on Radio. What are your websites and everything?
So you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. The Garden State Great. You can just type it in the search engine that way, and it'll show up. You can type it in Google as well that way. You'll see different options. I'm also on YouTube as well. But all you have to do is type in the Garden State Great. You can type it in as one word, or you can space each out, and it'll give you all the links. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
Well, while that was going out over the air, we found out some interesting factoids about you. That you played the saxophone and you were a tap dancer.
Played the alto saxophone for 4 years in the school band, and tap dance for 13 years.
Okay. Does that ever come into play in what you do now?
Yes.
Okay.
The easiest way when I explain to people, they're like, well, how do you come up with flows and rhythms and everything? For me, it's very innate. I don't count music. I can just hear it, and I'm like, oh, this is blah, blah, blah. Like, it's for me, it's that simple, but it's because, of course, the practice, the repetition of all that. Rhythms, for me, I hear them, and then when I express them through my voice, they're very similar to either tap dancing or the alto saxophone, or both.
You know, growing up, my favorite band was and still is Led Zeppelin. Now, when I was a kid playing the drums, which is how I discovered Led Zeppelin, because my cousin gave me Zeppelin 4 for my 12th birthday.
Okay.
She's like, you're playing the drums, you got to hear this guy. So as I began getting better at the drums, I started listening to John Bonham. And not only did he play in polyrhythms, but oftentimes he didn't stay lockstep with the bass player, John Paul Jones. He locked in with Jimmy Page on guitar. So a lot of his accents and beats and things were with Page and not Jones. So consequently, from listening to that so much, I began to pick up that influence, and I started doing that sort of thing. And it actually cost me, as recently as a few years back, it actually cost me a spot in a band because they couldn't understand. I subscribe to the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid, you know? So, but no matter where I started, if I come back in on the 1 or finish on the 4, I'm there. And if you listen to a lot of the Led Zeppelin records, things like Black Dog, things like Dazed and Confused, and so on and so forth, Bonham does some stuff where he's, it doesn't sound like he's in sync, and the next thing you know, he's right back there.
Right.
And when you kind of do things that aren't
Traditional.
yes, thank you. That's a very good way to put it. When you kind of go outside of the lines, color outside of the lines a little bit, if you're not schooled or you're not looking at it with a broader crayon or brush, you're going to think, what the heck's wrong with that guy?
Facts.
So have you had to fight the same kind of thing I did where people don't think you're keeping the right beat or the right rhythm? Because they're so conditioned to what they hear that they're thinking, why is that guy... Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Or am I just babbling here?
No, I've dealt with it. No, you're not babbling. I've dealt with it in a different fashion. The same thing, but it's not the same details, but a different fashion. One thing with me is I would go to blues jams, and everyone, you know how it is. Everyone gets together, the song they know, oh, what key is it, this and that, right? There's a reason why I start here. So people will come up to me, oh, I know how to play it in this key. All right, what key do you know it in? And I look at him and I'm like, doesn't matter, whatever key you know how to play in. That's all. And now everybody, they're all screwed up because, to most musicians, it's a science.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's not a science. It's beyond that. That's how I do it.
Feel it.
Right. Mm-hmm. So they're like, over time, Pops is like, Kumo G, Pops, he's like, you gotta stop doing that. I said, what do you mean? Like, that's how they know how to play it. So I just tell him, do whatever you know. He's like, you can't do that, man. You're messing their head up, man, because like to them it's this way, but to you just like, all right, play it. And you know how to figure out how to mesh your voice in there. So I said, okay, all right. So when I would go to some of the jams, you know it in this key? Yeah, we'll play it in that one. No. To go back to it, the reason why I brought that up is you have to know the musical sense. The reason I'm a different rapper is because I know music. I don't just know rap. A lot of rappers will listen to other forms of music, but they don't know it. They don't really study it. They hear it, but don't study it. So the reason I'm able to color out the lines, color on them, color all over them, mess up the coloring font, however you want to put it, is because I know music. Dealing with the different, I would say, I won't say feedback, but friction from some people is because they're not used to, they're stuck in the traditional way of things. Right. Mm-hmm. It has to sound this way to them. So I've definitely been places where, and until this day, I still feel it. One place that I do feel it, I'm not going to mention because, we're on here. I don't want to, blow up spots or whatever. But this one place, I can definitely say that even though I've been there for multiple years, they don't value me or the band that I'm with. They don't value us because there's 2 stages and they only have us on the sidewalk, or I'll even say it. So as long as I'm not saying the name, on the gazebo, they'll only put us. But then there's a night where there's a big stage and they won't put us up there. And I personally feel that they won't do that is because the lead singer is a rapper. It's not according to their traditional format. And the part that frustrates me the most is because the people who are up there, when they're singing, they're looking at an iPad. They're reading it off the iPad.
That's my that drives me crazy.
They're playing someone else's song. But
and
they're playing it down
words.
To the T.
Right.
They're not showing any of their musicianship, their artistry. Right. So to me, you're being a karaoke player, a karaoke singer. So I get frustrated when I see these people on the big stage. Well, it's really not the big stage. The reason I say that, it's the big stage for Thursday nights because I've been on way bigger stages.
I know exactly where you're talking about.
Yeah, I know, but I just don't want to, I want to put certain things out there, but not completely say it because it's frustrating seeing that when, okay, you won't put us up there, but I performed in Bad Boy Studios for hip-hop competitions that were national competitions. I performed in Lucille's and B.B. King's before it closed down. I performed at Stanhope House, Stone Pony. Wait, you're trying to give us friction for this thing?
You're gonna stick me in that little 8
like
by
really?
10 area.
8 by 10, and then
I've been there myself.
and then pay me pennies on that when what the band gets paid. I've done shows by myself in a half hour and made more than that.
Yeah. You're not in Gary Wright's band, are you?
No, I just showed up there that one time because Gary asked me to.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm only.
Right.
No, CMJ Jazz Band is the only band that
you're in.
I'm in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Because when you said that, I remember Gary telling me that they had a gig. I had a gig in that same spot. In that gazebo, and they were playing the next night.
Okay, so you were on Saturday. I went that Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh man,
That's why.
okay.
I know exactly who, where, what you're talking about.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's very frustrating because you put your heart out into it, and one way is you can talk about your sponsors by saying it on the microphone in a traditional way, but we do that. And then I put them in the rap, and I shout them out, and I might even give them 4 lines, 8 lines, and guess what? They don't even tape that.
No.
But then to me, you'll tape somebody else, right? Who's sitting there on a chair singing. And guess what? They don't even have a band behind them. Right. They just have an entertainment system and they're playing something out of there. So wait, they're not even singing their own song. They're just sitting there. You're not entertaining.
Using backing tracks. Well, speaking of tracks, let's do one more tune.
Let's do Bar Shark.
Okay.
Everyone loves Bar Shark. You heard the different. As you listen, you hear different flows. This one is more of a faster, choppier flow, but of course, I still keep the punchlines with it, and it's just more of a new age. The way they rap new age, or we rap new age, it's just another form of me showing that the versatility.
Nice.
Pretty much, yeah.
There you go. Garden State Great here on Rock On Radio.
Smoking on this Oak Lick strain 1 a.m. No talent. We back at it again.
No talent.
Back at it like latissimus dorsi. The trapezius. That's why. Float the bomb B, folding my arms like laundry. Not a snowman, just frosty. Kick balls from far Mason Crosby. Notice the talent, no subpoena. Taking my shot like a tequila. Heads spinning, body ballerina. Rooms looking messy, Argentina. Me and a B got a special bond. Hopping on it like a frog in a pond. Lyrically atomic like I'm the bomb. Weed in my hand as I make the trees palm. Bet against me, I'm a match. A bad ain't fought in a war, but I'm still a vet. Ain't volleyball, but the scene is set. Caught in the lines like I threw a net. Having shape, it look like a bear. Killing it on the two, but they no pair. I'm touching the buttons and none of them share. Her body shaped like a Bartlett pear. Shaking the game, I'm running back juice. Women smile at me, they know I'm cute. Potential is scary, don't mean to spook. I'm DeAndre Hopkins, my rider's new. I'm a bar shark with a bar start. Bar start with a bar shark. Muscle up with the bar part. Grip so strong that the bar's hard. I'm a bar shark with a bar start. Bar start with a bar shark. Muscle up with the bar part. Grip so strong that the bar's hard. I'm a bar shark. I'm a bar shark. I'm a bar shark. I'm a bar shark. I'm a bar shark, I'm a bar shark, I'm a bar shark, I'm a bar shark. Muscle up with the bar part. I'm a bar shark, I'm a bar shark. Grip so strong that the bar's hard. Ain't no scars, but leaving my mark. Pumping out trash, cause they are my heart. I am a hero, but no Tony Stark. I'm finna do it, no side of a shark. Level up, I'm on a different tier. Eagle eye view, I'm high in here. Sitting on 10 strings, couch or chair. Truth like triangles make a square. This ain't my hobby, this is my job. Couldn't even steal it, my name was Rob. 911, beat me the medic. I'm hitting them J's like I'm JJ Redick. Lyrically fire, yeah, I said it. I speak it in close and they can't even bet it. Top of the line in the universe, and I'm versing, rehearse up in the universe. I'm a bar shark with a bar start. Bar start with a bar shark. Muscle up with the bar part. Grip so strong that the bar's hard. I'm a bar shark with a bar start. Bar start with a bar shark. Muscle up with the bar part. Grip so strong that the bar's hard. I'm a bar shark. I'm a bar shark, I'm a bar shark, I'm a bar shark. I'm a bar shark, I'm a bar shark, I'm a bar shark, I'm a bar shark. Muscle up with the bar part. I'm a bar shark, I'm a bar shark. Grip so strong that the bar's hard. I'm a star like them Cowboys in Texas. Flipping that game over like it was Tetris. Flowing at angles that are geometric. Hold I have on the game is isometric. No need for bragging, I'm displaying truth. No tie jacket, but I follow suit. Smile on her face, I can tell that she cute. Log got me yelling as if she would mute. Give me a read the rap on and forget it. Crown out the bank, but they still give me credit. Genius lyrically, I just bees at bars. Take you on trips like a visa. We know the flows go master hard. All I've been showing my MasterCard. You know this game of life here is chess. This is how American Express. I'm a bar shark with a bar start. Bar start with a bar shark. Muscle up with the bar part. Grip so strong that the bar's hard. I'm a bar shark with a bar start. Bar start with a bar shark. Muscle up with the bar part. Grip so strong that the bar's hard. I'm a bar shark. I'm a bar shark, I'm a bar shark, I'm a bar shark. I'm a bar shark, I'm a bar shark, I'm a bar shark, I'm a bar shark. Muscle up with the bar part. I'm a bar shark, I'm a bar shark. Grip so strong that the bar's hard.
There we go. The Garden State Great here on Rock On Radio.
Woohoo.
So your dad's band is the only one that you're...
CMJ Jazz Band. That's the only band that I play in.
I drew a blank on the name there.
Oh, you're good.
Thank you for that.
Initials. So
The only reason I say that, like, I might show up to other sets for people just as support. They might call me up. I'll go up here and there, but CMJ Jazz Band, that's the band. That's who I'm with. The reason I say that is we do a lot of different things. There's a lot of improv going on, improvisation going on. And that's why I really like it, because we all feed off each other. One person can do something that's off the script, and then we're all able to just catch it. And it doesn't seem like, we're confused or anything.
Well, one of the things you spoke of earlier was how you think, or you said, that rap is kind of rooted in jazz. Jazz, blues. There's a jazz pianist by the name of Rio Clemente. Rio's in his 80s now, but there was a point he was on a lot of recordings. And he said to me, he said, Danny, you know why I like to play jazz?
And you said, why is that, Rio?
Got that
He
out.
said, because it will, how did he put it? I can play it as far as my mind will take me.
Yep.
Aw.
Your mind can go very far. And
In other words, it was because of the improvisation. And there was no limits, no boundaries.
yes.
You know, if you're a classical musician, you got to do whatever's on that sheet music. If you're a jazz, blues, and hip hop and rap, you can expand.
Exactly.
You can go off script. As long as you come back to script at some point, you can go off script.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I heard you say when you first came in tonight, I'll play the blues for you. I don't know about you. I mean, that's done by so many fantastic, blues artists who did it for Albert Collins,
Albert
right?
King,
Or Albert King, I mean.
B.B. King.
B.B. King. My favorite version, with all respect to them, matter of fact, I just got back from Memphis last month. I went to the Blues Foundation. I went to the Rock and Soul Hall of Fame. I went to a lot of these places, saw things I never thought I'd see in my life, and it was incredible. But Gary Moore does a version of I'll Play the Blues for You. And it's just like spellbinding. It's just like, wow. And all of them do it different, yet it's the same song. And it's beautiful.
Right.
Every one of them versions is beautiful. And with jazz and hip-hop and the blues, you can do that. You can improv. So I understand why you gravitated towards it. And at the Jazz and Blues Festival, you guys were great.
Thank you very much.
Really
Just
good.
same thing with,
Yeah.
did you catch any of the Supernova set? James Popick, the guy that was
Yes.
on?
Yeah.
I mean, there's certain things, but they improv a lot as well. Yeah. It's all original music, so it's or most of it's original that he does. So, matter of fact, Popick made it through the
The first round of his Grammys.
First round of the Grammy.
Awesome.
good for him.
Yeah.
nominations.
Yeah.
So.
He has a beautiful album, instrumental, Sourland Symphony. It's a totally different type of project, but it's about the Sourland Mountains here.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just stunning. It's just really
It's all-
enjoyable. And he's up for a Grammy for
Instrumental jazz compositions. So,
Yeah.
and Deko's handling the vinyl distribution
Yep.
for James for that record as well. Now, you said something about a live tune?
I have a live tune. Yeah, you have your live tune, right?
Splatch.
Splatch. Do you want us to play that?
I'm all ears
Sure.
on this one, man.
Yeah. So this is from when we performed May 18th at Salem Roadhouse. So an interesting backstory to this is one thing about CMJ Jazz Band, we do not have band practice. We've never had one. We just practice by ourselves, meet together, know what the material is. That's it. So for this event, there were 6 new songs. So there was a conversation like, is he gonna know these? Like, these are all different. Like, we've been playing this. Like, these are 6 new tunes. Is he gonna be all right? And Joe Lisa was like,
Yeah.
he's good. So Kumo's like, what? It's the guard stay great, man. What are you talking about? He's fine. Because the drummer, Chris Almeida, he asked. He's like, is he going to be able to? So the reason I'm telling this story, it ties into the best version of yourself is we were on vacation. And we came back from vacation May 18th at 8:30 in the morning, having the show at 8 o'clock at night. And we were on vacation for 9 days. So remember, 6 new songs. So I know how the songs sound. I'm listening to them on the cruise. Before the cruise, I wrote verses for all of them, so I had something, all that. I'm on the cruise. I'm like, you're not going to know this stuff, man. You're not going to sit here and study this. You know what? If you're as nice as you say you are and as good as you say you are, you'll improv all 6 of those songs that you don't know. We'll see if you got what it takes. Challenge for myself. Splash is one of the new records that they played that night. And here we go.
There you go.
So how we doing tonight at Salem Roadhouse? Make some noise for yourselves. So I just have one question for you. What time is it? Maybe 8:25 is the time that'll fit. If you're looking at your cell phone, you know what's going on as I speak from the dome. And I walk around, there's no mat here, but it's still my home. I just take a microphone, say a few words and turn them to poems. We're here, Salem Roadhouse. You see that right there as it come out my mouth. Oops, I forgot, cafe. Today's the 18th of May. It's very simple to do this. When I smile at women with a smile, double dimples. There it is. Come on, man, show them how we do. This is what it is. Down here at Salem Roadhouse, New Jersey. You heard me, and these words be circly like a derby. You heard me? Shout out the Flesh World. They did their thing, and that's oh so true. I just flew on the mic in front of you, when you're wondering how this sick even go through my mouth into you. It's called a word called ear application. I just take a bunch of words from the glossary and just put them all in creation. This is what they call a zone when you're speaking like this on a microphone. I see a few cameras in a vision. I just know as people go listen, they're like, wait, this guy's still here rapping. I don't even know what's going on, but they be clapping. When I'm done, but I'm not done yet, I guess she said yes. Come on, ladies, make some noise. Come on, fellas, make some noise. I'm just up here showing boys. Come on, let's go. Thank you.
Little snippet. That's cool. I love it.
Nice.
Thank you.
Very good. That's the
Kumo
thing, like,
slapping away on the bass.
Getting all of that, just knowing you're going to improv. I mean, to pull all of that, it always amazes me that you have that at your fingertips.
Thank you.
You know,
It amazes me as well.
Yeah, I freeze. I'd be like,
That's why, like I talk about how, I did this today, I can do better.
yeah,
All
no,
falls
definitely.
into that.
That's good.
Nice.
Thank you.
So while that was going out over the air, we were talking a little bit about some stuff, really cool stuff you have coming up.
All right,
About
yeah.
public speaking and a new album potentially.
Yes. So if you check me out on any music platform, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, all of those, and more, YouTube, you just type in G Shaw. You'll see a lot of things come up. One project I'm working on should come out by the end of the year is another album. Like I mentioned, I may have not mentioned, I released one early in the year called Level Up. I released that in January. The song you heard called Bar Shark is off of that album. At the end of the year, I look to release another one. And I'm also working on public speaking, writing different programs where I can use those skills that I have attained in public and help motivate others to understand that what you've reached today, you can reach way further tomorrow.
Do you MC a lot of events?
I do not, but I would like to. That's another part I've been thinking about to bridge back out into. The reason I say back out is my public speaking experience comes from being a DJ, not like, your party DJ, but more of your corporate DJ, doing Sweet 16s, weddings, and being the announcer for that. So that's where I get the experience from.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I do feel that that is something I should venture out into just because of the improbability, the way I can create joy, just me being myself around others.
Now, there's an old saying, some of us, yes?
No, say your old saying.
Some
You
of
may
us
forget.
create joy by entering a room and others by leaving. I am probably the leaving part of that.
Depends on who it is.
But there's I wanted to, were you going to say something before I?
Well, I want to know, how do you spell G Shaw?
G-SHAW.
Hyphen. That's what I'm missing. I'm trying to. The hyphen's important because you can't find you without it.
Thank you.
One of the things that,
There
like
you are.
you were mentioning about DJing and the corporate thing. I've always said that being somebody who goes out with an acoustic guitar, no matter what they do, whether it's original or cover material, is kind of like being naked. Because if you screw up, there's nothing to cover you up. There's no band behind you. There's no bass player or drummer or somebody else to blame it on. It's you. And I was talking with Jeffrey Gaines one time, and I told him that because I saw him do that at a house concert a couple of years prior to that. And I'm like, I got to give you credit, man. You just kept on going. You could have kept on going and fumbled through it, but you stopped and said, and then gave a little explanation as to why you screwed up. He said, that's art. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, it's art. I'm creating something in that moment. I can't just stop and say, oh, forget it. Let's start over.
Exactly.
So there's ways to look at that. So when you're a DJ at a corporate level, as you just mentioned, there's still a certain amount of protection that you have. You may have a table with a laptop on it.
Correct.
Or you may have, you can do whatever. You're not the focus. You can make or break the event, but you're not the focus. So when you MC on a stage like I have at the Jazz and Blues Festival or the Stone Pony, at the Two River Theater in Red Bank, where there's anywhere from several hundred to several thousand people, it can be very intimidating to a lot of people.
Correct.
Now, does this thing that you're offering try to give them tips on that or step-by-step instruction? What's this all about?
So the public speaking is about courage, but I am willing to explain to others how to overcome your fears speaking to others or being in front of others. There's different things that you can do. You have to find out what keeps you calm. If you can't find that, that makes it harder, but you have to search for what keeps you calm. Different things you can do is you just look around the room. You don't have to technically look at someone's face. If that might make you feel like you're going to mess up. But you look in their general direction, different general directions. When you get to a certain level where you feel that no matter what you say isn't really going to bother you, then you can really create intimate relationships when you're emceeing, performing, because now you can look at someone for a second, 2 seconds. And when you do little simple things like that, they feel, meaning the crowd, they feel more a part of the show. And one thing you'll notice with me being an MC when I'm on stage by myself or with the CMJ Jazz Band, I'm always able to get crowd interaction. I always make sure there's a part of the show where the crowd is singing along with what I'm saying. Because when you're able to do that from an artist perspective, you feel great. You feel very accomplished. Wow, I'm reaching all these people. But at the same time, when you're an artist like that, that means you understand what the crowd is looking for. And that's a deeper level of intimacy.
It also humanizes you, the artist.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're not just you're not up on this pedestal.
Right. You don't think you're
The
above.
stage. You know,
And you
you're-
connect with them.
Yes.
It humanizes you, which is really cool. You know, I know. I used to hear, "You're going to be an MC. Have you ever done that before?" No. Does that bother you? I don't know. We'll find out. You know? So when I first started, one of the first big things I ever emceed was at the Stone Pony for an epilepsy benefit. And there were like 800 people in the Pony. You know? So it was packed.
Yeah.
The first thing I did was look out over the soundboard and find the sound guys. And they were my focus. So I kind of looked over everybody. And was I nervous? A little bit. Kind of shaky. Because you can make or break an event.
Right.
And, you know, she hates my jokes. Claire hates my jokes. But,
No, I like your jokes. I don't like your dad jokes.
well, my dad jokes. See, they got me
I like when you're funny.
But eventually, then, you know, there was always the whole thing, oh, well, just picture everybody naked. As a man, that could be embarrassing.
Right.
You know.
Laughing.
Right. Exactly.
So I just can't stress enough to people, whether you're public speaking or you're performing or you're just going to the grocery store, be yourself.
Yes.
Not everybody's going to like you. Chances are most will, but not everybody. And you got to keep that in mind. You really can't, you know,
Expect that of anybody.
you
Exactly.
can't please everybody. So, all right, well, we got to wrap it up.
We do. Woohoo!
Wrap.
We made it. Wrap it up. Oh, I laughed at a really bad joke, so you can't say that again anymore.
Well, I hope you had pun.
Oh, stop. We have to go.
Yeah, we have to go. Well, first, man, thank you so much.
Thank
for
you
making
so
this.
much. This has been amazing, great.
glad you listened
for
to
me,
your father.
epic. No, I actually didn't. I actually didn't because
didn't?
no, he wanted me to start off using my degree and then do music as part-time. I switched it around because I knew if I did it that way, it would take me a lot longer to have certain skills. And honestly, I know at this age I wouldn't have the skills that I have if I followed it that way.
Well,
That's true.
and that's
just being a dad.
good. And that's Kumo G. Just
Yeah,
being
nothing
your
wrong
dad.
with that.
But I meant listen to him and
Come here.
told you to come here.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He had nothing to do with this.
No. you
No,
just-
on stage he
your
didn't
sh-
say to me, "That's my son." And
He said
he-
that or whatever, but and he
Didn't he
said
say you got to go on his radio show?
he said to you, yeah, he said that, and then
Okay.
he said to you, no, but
was
listen to
going
what he
anyway.
said.
Go ahead.
Listen to what he said. He said to you, after this show, I bet you, I already know he's going to be on your show. That's what he said to you.
Well, see? So I'm glad I listened to your dad.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you gave me the card, and I reached out to you, and
And,
you know,
and I'm very glad
and
you did, man.
I'm just blessed to be here,
Nice.
and thankful you responded, and you thought that this would be a great experience and building event for all of us.
Yeah.
Well, I
That's
hope
awesome.
it was for you. And if it wasn't, tell everybody. If it wasn't, tell me privately. Next week, we will be at the Headliner in Neptune doing something with Mr. Marzano.
That's right.
And I think Kelly Karchmer.
Karchmer?
Yeah, I think so. I think
so.
she's involved.
Good.
We'll have to clarify that.
It's the Jersey Shore Jams.
Yeah,
what they do.
Jersey Shore
Jersey Shore
Jam,
Jams,
Blues
yeah.
Jam, of which I'll be there. Rumor has it I may even be playing the drums a little
Whoa.
bit. Rumor.
Rumor.
So, Garden State, great. Mr. G. Shaw, thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
All right. So, until next week, rock on!